at the Sunport. That was the vision. This was 9 years ago. And I do want to acknowledge where I got that from. There was a guy named Randy Trask who's still floating around, and he did all these studies that kind of mapped out this general demand for this concept. And it basically works like this. There's nowhere else in the Southwest where runway, train track, and interstates cross. And like literally nowhere. Like think about that for a second. You can't even really find that in like Denver. You can't find it in Phoenix. They're always missing one or the other. So there's always been this theory that we should be an intermodal hub. And I know the folks know this well who work in this business, but just to really like crystallize it, what does that mean? So I have something that is being transported, like picture a giant box, right? I can fly it into the airport, but then I have to get it somewhere else. My choice is putting it on a truck or putting it on a train, and vice versa. I've got something on a train, I need to get it somewhere else, I got to put it on a plane or a truck. So where does all that happen? Now it's going to happen right here. This is the first example, at least in the core of Albuquerque, where we're going to be able to do this with the closest proximity to the runway. And so that has been an economic development thesis for 30 years. And I think it's part and parcel, no pun intended, of a lot of things that our administration has been working on. This is an old idea. I first heard about this 25 years ago when I was in the state Senate, and no one had pulled it off until now. It's just like renovating the rail yards. That was a 40-year-old idea. In 3 months, C&M is going to open the Film Academy there. It's just like the rail trail, which we opened the first piece of down in Old Town last month. So these are good ideas. They're so good, we've been trying it for 40 years. And we're finally making real progress on them. That's what we're here to celebrate today. And of course, we can't do it without a private partner, someone who actually knows what they're doing when it comes to intermodal transport, because that is really not the forte of the Sunport. And so that's why we're so grateful to have Transload here. They're going to talk about their role and what they do each and every day. There's no way we could do that without them, or without the sort of partnership with respect to Mesa del Sol and Rudy Guzman and his team, and everyone who's a part of all the efforts out here connecting sort of this space in the South Valley to Mesa del Sol and to the airport for one reason: to create jobs and to build Albuquerque. That's what we celebrate today. Now, I do want to especially just give the Sunport credit, because there were times when I gave up on this idea. Times meaning for years I gave up on this idea. At one point, I even jogged this railroad track from here all the way back when I could jog. Another story there, but all the way up into the base where I got like blocked at the gate, because we always wanted this rail spur, and basically no one would sell it to us for a reasonable price. And we really broke that log jam last year. So we appreciate, the Horn family and others finally cutting this deal with us so that we can lift up Albuquerque. And for us too, it's part of the Sunport. We had originally given up on this idea because we couldn't get the track, but this Sunport team got it done. And so I really appreciate the leadership team, Lisa and Manny and everyone who's been a part of this, and even City Legal and so forth, to put this together, because this was one of those that we never thought was going to happen. And it finally has, and that's what we celebrate today. So with that, I'm going to hand it back over to actually the other side of this equation, which is our economic development work that has to do with all things trying to get businesses to actually use the infrastructure that we buy. So let's bring up Max Gruner, our Director of Economic Development.
So good morning, everybody, and thank you for being here. My name is Max Gruner. I'm the Director for Economic Development for the city of Albuquerque. In talking to Manny and the mayor about this project, the mayor used a phrase a couple of days ago, of building a new era of economic development right here at the Sunport. And I just wanted to take a moment and reflect on that notion, a new era of economic development. The thesis, the theory, the value proposition that is New Mexico, that is Albuquerque, is strong. We all need to remember, New Mexico has never been a flyover state. Albuquerque has never been the place that waits for innovation. We build innovation. Think about our state, think about our city. We are the birthplace of the space age. In the 1920s, the liquid-fueled rocket was developed right here. We are the birthplace of the nuclear era, an era that was so revolutionary that it has changed everything about our lived experience, from the way we think about the economy to the way we think about medicine, to the shifts in global division of power to national security. The personal computer, which has changed everything about our lives, was developed right here. And then Allen and Gates founded Microsoft. Fusion, harnessing the power of the stars here on Earth, was developed, was pioneered right here at Sandia Lab. And now Pacific Fusion is bringing that technology back right here to the city, to Mesa del Sol, with $1 billion investment. You know, yes, we also invented the nicotine patch, but maybe more importantly, the technology that allows us to have catalytic converters invented right here. And as I talk to you today, we are leading in fast iteration that allows the American warfighter downrange to be successful. We are actualizing the mission of DoD and DOE. We are leading in directed energy, in supercomputing. We are leading the way in decarbonizing our atmosphere by leaning into advanced alternative energies. This is what we do here. This is who we are. We don't wait for the future to knock on our door. We create the path into the future. And that is exactly what we are doing here. We are investing smart money. We are investing strategic and tactical money into infrastructure, into logistics, and ultimately into the American supply chain. And that is remarkable. We truly are, as the mayor was saying, we truly are the continental hinge for the Southwest. Nobody can do what we can do right here, right now. So I wanted to take a quick moment just to reflect on some of the challenges that some of the detractors like to bring forth. Right, this notion that as a landlocked state, as a landlocked city, we are at a disadvantage. And I think nothing is further from the truth. Think about this. Albuquerque truly is a city at the crossroads, with a highway connecting the Atlantic to the Pacific Ocean, with a highway connecting Mexico to Canada. We are equidistant on rail from Galveston, Houston, and from Long Beach, LA. We have 2 national labs right here. We have a Sunport, an international airport with a foreign trade zone that radiates out all over the city and all over the county. We are anchored by a world-class research university. And we are neighbors to a community college that every day delivers world-class career and technical education to the Burqueño job seeker, to the New Mexican trying to better themselves. So I want to repeat one notion that the mayor also mentioned. In this administration, we pride ourselves in delivering on promises that were made a long time ago, in delivering on ideas that have been floating around in the ether for decades. And this is one of those ideas. We can create right here, right now, a world-class multimodal hub. The kind of investment, the kind of development that's actually gonna enable the inland port that we have been working on for so long. So with that, I want to thank all of you for being here. I want to thank Manny and the whole aviation team and the mayor for his words. And it is my great pleasure right now to introduce my friend and former colleague, acting deputy director of the Sunport, Lisa Bader, to the podium. Lisa.
Yeah. Thank you, Max. Thank you. I remember I'd only been in the Economic Development Department maybe a few weeks when I got called over to the mayor's office for a meeting with several leadership. and I saw the title said something about a rail spur, and I remember thinking, I don't know why I'm here. I don't know anything about railroad. I can't say that today because I have delved into railroad for the last 3 years in a way that I never thought would be possible, and have come to learn and love that this industry is part of our history in New Mexico, but it is also part of our future. And it is a part of our future that hasn't ever been part of the airport before. But the Sunport now has this incredible opportunity where we can move cargo between all modalities of transportation in one location. And there is no way we could have come to this place today without incredible support from partners like New Mexico Transload, like the Horn Stewart family, who worked with us for us to be able to acquire this last piece of land and the railroad's easement. And with that land, there is a new opportunity that will have significant impact on our entire region. It won't just be the Sunport that benefits from that. This takes massive vision and massive leadership, and this is a big project. So while this is a culmination of the last 3 years' work, it is also the beginning of a new opportunity that is here for New Mexico that will create jobs and opportunities that have not existed because these opportunities haven't ever been built before. And so it has been my great pleasure that this has been the project that I have gotten to focus on over the last 3 years. And I am so looking forward to the next chapter. And today, as we look at the partnership that we have with New Mexico Transload, and when we started talking to them and they started talking about the opportunities this would bring, they understood that with a public-private partnership, they could move faster than we could. And so they moved incredibly fast to rehabilitate part of this spur so that it can already be in use while we begin the work for the rest of the spur. And so I'd like to introduce Brian Connell, who is the head of New Mexico Transload, so that he can share with you what this means for their company. Thank you, Brian.
Thank you, Lisa, for the kind introduction.
We're scooped back here. We're supposed to be after
We won't leave you for alone.
The list is long for all the folks that have made this possible, and if I don't mention anybody in this list, please forgive me, and thank you for your help. I'd like to give thanks to God first and foremost for his undeserved blessings, and I'll start with my right-hand man, Mr. Ruben Montoya, our excellent New Mexico Transloading crew, Mesa del Sol's Mr. Steve Chavez, Rudy Guzman from Guzman Construction, Nick Chavez, Jason Daskalos, who couldn't be here, from the Aviation Division, Mr. Manny Manriquez, as well as NMT's, Lisa Abeda and Christina. Christina Sandoval was a big part of this too. Aviation's Legal Division came up, as well as NMT's Legal Division, Amber Cash. From the City of Albuquerque, Mayor Keller, thank you. Max Gruner and his economic team. The State of New Mexico Economic Development Secretary Rob Black, Mark Roper, Yudi Morales Mangoni, Beth Waldrip, and from BNSF Railway, Miss Katie Farmer, Maxim Yashirin, also known as Max, and Michael Northam. Thank you all who are in attendance for your kindness and your support. So at this point, I guess I want to tell you guys a railroad joke. But I think I lost my train of thought on that. So instead I'm gonna tell you guys a story. Once upon a time, about 1 decade ago, Ruben Montoya and myself set out to start a transloading facility. What was our vision? It was to build infrastructure needed to make our city into a metropolis. Had this been done before? No. Do other cities build infrastructure before business? No. Transportation usually follows the flow of business. Were we putting the cart before the horse on this one? Absolutely. Did anyone know what transloading is? Not really. We kept trying to set meetings with folks to show them our vision, and we were told no a lot. But you know, working in the railroad business, one really has to have thick skin but more importantly, good brakes. Our mission was set to be the catalyst to economic growth and development. We set our venture to help businesses grow by extending to them the savings of rail transportation without the cost of infrastructure. This expanded to creating New Mexico's first rail-served foreign trade zone and creating a company that sells savings. A simple plan that has led us on a journey to be New Mexico's largest BNSF customer in our short existence, and the ability to be at the forefront of our joint recruiting efforts between economic developers, area, and site selectors to give the assurance that we can handle the logistics for incoming manufacturing facilities from construction build all the way to final product shipping. Today, the land that we are standing on is the new site of New Mexico Transloading's expansion. With our newly acquired 27 acres of land, we plan to build another facility much like our facility that's just south in between Broadway and 2nd Street to the south of us. We plan to spur off the city track, which would be up in the north by the DOT building, and lay several ladder tracks going south to north on this very property to continue our and support our growth. So everyone's big ask, and I'm glad that the mayor's here for this one, is job creation. Will our expansion create jobs? So we are in a very unique position. We provide raw goods to local industries. If you're running a plastic plant like Atcor up the road, without NMT, there is no plastic pipe being made. So our job multipliers go to an uncalculated number very quickly. Ethanol that is being put into your fuel, power poles from Canada to keep your lights on, diesel exhaust fluid in powder form to make clean coal at the Arizona power plant in the Four Corners area literally keeps Arizona's power on and folks employed at the power plant. Maida's expansion in Los Lunas, gas pipe to connect Santa Fe to Albuquerque, steel for the breezeway, beautiful breezeway at University of New Mexico Hospital, Presbyterian's expansion, and who can forget Topgolf, cement for the Comanche Interstate project. All these list a few of our projects that create and we undertake, and we have multiple projects going on at the same time. We even forward staged Gallup Indian Medical Center's new backup generator until the electricians were ready for install. Everything from narrow gauge vine, a northern New Mexico winery's yearly grape shipment from Napa Valley, which they ship us about 40 cases of grapes, to 500,000 pound transformers manufactured in Brazil for PNM. Yeah, I'd say we can handle it. The private-public partnership that has been formed with New Mexico Transloading is a perfect symbiotic relationship. New Mexico Transloading brings our strength to establish an economic need from our 400 plus customers that are utilizing freight rail transportation. We aim for this announcement to be the first of many success events as we gain more traction and build and develop the infrastructure needed to develop the city's multimodal facility and complement Mesa del Sol's industry and tech developments. We are so happy to share our track record with you, no pun intended. And we invite each and every one of you to be all aboard this economic train that is vital to our growth and development as city, county, and state venture. We thank you for attending and celebrating this momentous occasion with us. If we don't speak to any of y'all before the holidays, from all of us at New Mexico Transloading, we wish you a very Merry Christmas and a prosperous and blessed New Year. Thank you all for coming.
Okay, perfect. Media too. There's enough.
Yeah, so a lot of donuts and coffee to go around, folks, and our guests back there with the media, please help yourself. I just want to close this out today by emphasizing one thing, and I'll take my sunglasses off to make this point. This is how we leverage airport resources. We are not drawing from the general fund to invest in the purchase of the track, the purchase of the property that enabled us to have complete control of the spur, and how we develop out the spur and multimodal facilities that go along with it. That's going to be dollars that we leverage from the airport. And we have federal partners and state partners that are in lockstep with us in that venture. And so this is how we can really move forward with the growth of the economy and make sure that the transportation infrastructure is built out at the same time and serves industry better. So that's what we're working to accomplish here, and this is proof positive that we're getting there. And that makes us all very proud. So thank you for being here. We appreciate it. Enjoy the refreshments, folks.
And all of the supporters that of this process, which did take a little while, but we're finally here at the finish line. But wanted to thank all of the supporters and for their help and support in making this happen, and thank you very much.
I'm Bami Parak. I'm Dorothy's son-in-law, and I'm remembering what Dorothy used to say to me when I got in front of a mic. She said, "Keep it short and sweet." So, and she was a military person, and I just wanted to say that Dorothy, I knew her for a very long time, and she was the finest example of what I call the unsung heroes of World War II. These women basically served their country admirably. They broke down a lot of barriers. They opened a lot of doors for a lot of women after them. And they did it all without expecting any reward or recognition. Dorothy would never ask for any of this. So it's really wonderful that the city is recognizing not just Dorothy, but all of the waves, all of the women of World War II in this manner. So thank you all for coming, and we appreciate it.
Okay, now for the big moment, Mayor Keller. I know you like to have the community help with this celebration, so please join the mayor and our distinguished guests over at the sign.
so much.
I know, yeah. Want to be on this side of the picture? It's great. Come on up. Come on under the sign. Look out for the steps.
Dave,
here.
why don't you come on over? And now, do we have others? If any of our veterans or secretary, commander, etc. Where's our representatives too? Oh, they're right here. Good. Come on up, and we'll see. I think. Do y'all want to come on up? You're good. Jump on in.
All right, whenever you're ready, Mayor, we'll do a countdown.
Yeah.
Anybody
Sure.
else?
Hold on, they're kind of coming.
All right.
There. Okay, we'll kind of let the shorter folks there peek through. All right. Nice. Yeah. Okay, let's do 3 backwards. 3, 2, 1. Nice job. Good job, Kenny. That was great.
Sticking with us, we just had to find.
You get 50 years, right there, that a lot of us there thought would actually be here, and it still kind of feels like we're not even ready for it. So we did the best we can, got a lot of moving parts to this. Fine, ready? Yes. All right. Okay, now with that, return up the fire chief.
All right, thank you all for being here to celebrate Ron's retirement. There's a lot of people that came bearing gifts today. So the first round of several rounds of honoring Ron for your over a century of service to the city and the department. We're going to start actually with Herman Bishop from the Retirees Association would like to say a few words. So we'll start with Herman.
Thank you, Chiefs. I see my friend Ron, and I have to say he's getting old as I am. And he's stepping back out. Ron, I happen to be his first district chief. And all his good experience, I want you to know I passed all that stuff on to him. That's why I met him. Lieutenant Ron retired from the fire department after serving 52 years with the fire department. He joined the department in December 17th, 1973, and he was a member of the 24th Fire Cadet class. He trained at the old fire academy over on 1610 Kit Carson Southwest, adjacent to the zoo. And was your training in 8 weeks? 8 weeks. That's how long mine was as well. And he did the typical things that fire trainees did, but we didn't have 4-inch hose. Had 2.5-inch hose. During his training, he laid miles and miles in 2.5-inch hose. And they jumped into the lights net, which you don't have anymore. And that was a scary experience, but if you didn't jump from 3rd floors, you didn't qualify as a firefighter. And of course, I'm sure the modern guys go through the smoke room. We used to go through the smoke room, and Ron did, and they would make you breathe that hot, acrid smoke until you thought you were going to suffocate. And finally, they would let you put the breathing mask on and get a breath of air. Now, that wasn't to punish anybody, but it was to let a firefighter know what a real fire was like. There was no rescue squads. No paramedics in those days. We had rescue squads that essentially do what paramedics do. And that Ron and I were both part of the rescue squads before the paramedics come in. He came in first when they had just built new fire station 15, and his first officer was Captain Santos Abeta and Lieutenant D.A. Myrie, who was experienced officers. they took Ron under his wing and broke him in. It taught him all the stuff that young firefighters should know. Not too long after that, he moved to the oldest station to the west, I in Silver. I had just been promoted to district chief out of Station 3 there at Girardage Central. And I was Ron's first district chief. And boy, did we have a lot of fires on South Edith and Broadway and Walter and Edith. And he had some pretty good fires down there, house fires, brush fires, and even had 1 or 2 fires at St. Joseph Mustang. But we had quite a experience over there running up and down at night, and it was a good experience. I enjoyed working with Ron. He was a real nice fellow, very cooperative, but of course wanted to do what the chief asked him to do. It's a very good, competent person, and what I know, he's been a good, competent person all the years he's been in the fire department. His record, of course, 52 years, is quite unusual. We did have some fire members that was close to him. Our old fire chief, Art Westerfield, served 40 years, Mayor, as chief. Can you imagine 40 years? He spent 47 years as the fire department, and I'm sure he would have served longer, but unfortunately, he died of cancer in 1962. His able-bodied assistant, Chief Milton Brandy, served 47 years in the department. Lieutenant Edwin Searle served 42 years, and one of our former chiefs, Simon Seligman, served 41 years. Now, the reason they served that long, we didn't have much of a retirement in those days, and they never thought about retiring. About 1964, we had a class action suit, about 10 Albuquerque firefighters, the city, the federal government, mandatorily retired them at age 62. They didn't like it. They filed the lawsuit. And they won the lawsuit, but they had to take a physical every year in order to maintain on the job. Most of those fellas stayed another 3 or 5 years and they finally retired. And then, fortunately, for my group, we got a good retirement system. And Ron is going to retire in the best retirement system you had. He had a high-issue vest. And having retired, I was really apprehensive about it, not sure what to do. But after a week or two after I retired, I got my house in order, kept my wife happy. She was still working. That was one success of us. But I kind of got used to it, and I like retirement. And I still like retirement, even though I'm connected with the fire department through the retirees. But I wish you well, my friend. Said, I think of you with a good service and all you have for me, and I appreciate you very much. God bless you.
All right, come on up, Candy. So, like you said, Ron means a lot to a lot of different people, and Randy runs our fleet division, and I'm going to kick it over to Randy, who also brought a gift for you today.
Ron, well, congratulations. And I only wish I could get the time that you spent in this department out of those trucks, because it would be great. It would be great. In honor of your retirement this year, is a wall plaque for you. This year is the original engine triumph decal that was put out when the Albuquerque changed their seats out, and it has your name on the bottom. Congratulations.
Right. So now we're gonna, on behalf of administration, we have first plaque. So a couple of things, and I'm gonna have to tell a couple of stories about my time working with Ron also, which I think we're all going to have to do. But we also rounded his it up to 53 years because this man has accumulated so much leave for early retirement. You're giving him that credit on his plaque. So we have you for 53 years. And I am confident that no one is going to break that record. But so, I mean, we talk a lot about our first time working together. I'm brand new in the department, a couple weeks in, and I'm sure we all share a very similar story where I flew up to his station and I'm terrified and I'm trying to be busy, and it's a slow station, so it's really hard to be busy at the station. And he basically invited me to sit down and have coffee with him, and I thought it was a trap. And the crew assured me it was safe, so we shared coffee, maybe 2 weeks on the job, and got to know each other. But then when I really got to know this man, I was a newly promoted lieutenant and not very long on the job, and our Chief Downey is here, so I don't worry about Chief Downey. Here he is. So I was given a directive, I was in professional development, that I had to teach Officer 1 to everybody in the department who had not taken Officer 1. And I'd been an officer for about 2 minutes. And I had in class with Ron and some other actual retirees that are in here. Frank was in that class. And I had to teach them Officer 1, which is very ironic because I didn't know how to be an officer. We calculated over 300 years of service in that class. They were so welcoming to me as that new lieutenant. Ron brought me an apple every day. But that, I think we all have that similar story of Ron. It might be a little different, but it's that personal touch that he gave when he worked with you, whether it was the one time you floated in and you never worked with him again, or for his crew. We have a lot of people that have come back to celebrate you that are already retired, that were a part of your crew. So I think that's why this room is so full. We want to thank you for your 53 years of service. We want to thank Martha and your son for letting us try brushing for as long as you did. And we're very thankful that we can let him go enjoy that retirement that Herman talked about. So thank you for 52 years of service. We have your plaque here. That's another gift for you, but thank you for the gift that you've left on our depression.
On football.
Oh, and I still have my football, yes. They all signed a football. And it's in my office that I've got all of, 300 years of service signed on that football. So I'm so happy.
It was great.
Yes, and stuff. No, thank you. Isn't it? That's fiction.
Yeah.
Thanks, what? Take it back for cancer.
Stood at the sponsor. This.
All right, so I'm going to hand it over to Vice President Greg Montoya from the Local 244, sir.
All right. Well, you have a great turnout here, Ron, so that speaks volumes to the type of member you've been to this department. It's always a pleasure to present these acts to our members. So Ron's 52 years of service. That's just unheard of. He's been a lieutenant longer than most of us have been in this department. And here at 21s, we had that second fire Corrales, back when I was a young driver. So we had some good times here. And so I just want to tell you guys a little bit about these axes. So we have his 52 years of service, and which we also recognize as an AFD and a New Mexico record. So congratulations on that. We have his years of service, Lieutenant Ron Guerrero, and AKA the current is a street name, which he's probably better known by. And then we also have his man number, which is 76.